It can be difficult to come to terms with our own mortality or even that of our parents and loved ones. And as we come to terms with it, we must also accept that cognitive impairment and dementia can be a very natural result of the aging process. If you or someone you know is dealing with cognitive impairment or dementia in the workplace, this video will offer practical advice to help approach these challenges with confidence. Hi, I'm Harlow Reed. Welcome to the HR Insider. I'm an HR leader and legal professional, and on this channel, I talk about issues that matter to you most in the workplace. Today, we're talking about cognitive decline, and I've included some helpful tips towards the end of this video to guide you through managing your needs under these circumstances. So be sure to stay with me. Let's talk about it. The content shared on this channel is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional legal advice. Always consult a qualified attorney or HR professional for specific guidance tailored to your needs. And don't forget to like and subscribe. As an HR leader, one of the more difficult things to watch in the workplace is an employee who has been in their position for many years, and you begin to see a decline in their performance. And I think everyone knows that as a society, we are living a lot longer because so many are delaying retirements. So we're working a lot longer as well. And with this reality comes another fact. We are likely to see cognitive decline show up for us, ourselves, or for others, even before it shows up at home. So, how does this show up in the workplace and how does it become an official HR issue? Well, one of the more common ways is when an employee begins to have significant issues that are not easily explained away. For me, anytime this has been brought to me as an issue, I've always looked at the fact that what is the person's age? It's very reasonable for someone to have some cognitive decline based on their age. But what is unreasonable is if there are significant changes that create a problem for the employee's ability to perform their job. To meet the needs of the organization. Now, again, everyone would expect for us to have some cognitive decline with age. That is natural. But we are talking about significant issues here. Now, the workplace is likely going to be the place where this is going to surface because when you go home, you take the same roads, you go to the same place, you know where things are in your home in terms of your bed, your closet. It's a routine that you follow every day. But things in the workplace, they're not routine. They can fluctuate based on the needs of the business, based on what's going on in the department and special projects that I've personally seen this surface in the workplace, especially around performance review periods where leaders are having to reflect on what performance deficiencies there may be, or just that there have been a series of missed tasks or deadlines that haven't been done, or projects that have been left incomplete. They see challenges with multitasking, just basic problem solving, making decisions, also a lapse in memory. I remember one leader who specifically pointed to the fact that he had went to an employee and asked to make one modification on a project that was somewhat minor, but the employee just basically said, I forgot to do that. And this is what allowed him to start connecting the dots. I've also seen policy violations like disclosure of confidential information where you know that this isn't something that you can share. It's proprietary. So when this happens, one of the first things to expect, or one of the first things that will follow, is a conversation with the employee. And I have seen that employees will fall into two broad categories when this conversation happens. The first is a group of employees who want to cover up what's happening to them. They basically see what's happening, but they make excuses. A lot of this is based in trying to protect themselves, protect their jobs. But unfortunately, this is not the way to do it. We're going to talk a little bit about how you would go about protecting your job, but denying what's actually happening is not the best way. And then the second group of employees are those who are not aware of what's happening to them. And they will just likely say, hey, I'll do better. They just aren't aware that they are having those issues, which would be consistent with someone who is having a cognitive decline. But in both circumstances, it is best for the employee to get an assessment from a healthcare professional to determine if they have a health condition that's interfering with their work. Because if there is a cognitive decline or dementia, early diagnosis is key. I also want to mention that depending on the severity of the issues that an employee is having in the workplace, HR can mandate an employee for an evaluation to help the company understand, what's going on with the employee. If there is a disability issue, is there a drug issue? Some of these things might be cognitive, but they may be related to other things as well. And so the employer, if they observe some things that are pretty severe in the workplace, HR can also mandate an employee for an evaluation to understand if the condition that they have will prevent them from performing their job altogether or what type of assistance they need. If you are confronted with these challenges, there are laws that may provide support to employees who are confronted with these types of issues. So, I want to review some of them with you now. The first one is the Americans with Disability Act. And this is a law that provides an accommodation to an employee who is dealing with a disability, and a cognitive decline or a dementia diagnosis would certainly qualify under the ADA. um, the way that you could use this type of a regulation is you could say, I need to work 5 hours a day versus a full day of work, because maybe you're seeing a cognitive decline as the day goes on. So, not having to put in a full 8, 10 hour day can help support you and also gives you enough time to perform and complete the substantial aspects of your job. The second one that I would refer you to is the Age Discrimination and Employment Act, because that one prevents a bias against older workers. The ages 40 or older. So, what that means is every request that is made related to dementia or cognitive decline, every request that you make has to be given the same level of consideration as any other employee would have received who is younger than you. So this is something that it's very evident to see. For example, if you are working in an environment where some people are allowed to work remotely, right? You put in a request to work remotely based on your cognitive decline and you're told no, but someone else in your department was told yes. Those are things that you have to look closely at to see, okay, why was this person who's younger than I am given consideration and told that they can work from home remotely, but I was told that I can't? I think that's probably not the best example, but that's just it's applying whatever benefit other people who are younger than you are receiving and sort of understanding, why am I not getting that same benefit? And the implication is you are not getting it because you are over 40. And so the employer would have to prove that that has nothing to do with your age. The benefit has nothing to do with your age. There are other circumstances. Okay, so the next one is the Older Worker Protections Act. Now, this also provides protections for people who are over 40, similar to the ADEA. It's actually a part of the ADEA, but what it provides is giving someone special protections when it comes to severance agreements or specific benefits. So this actually applies to the next benefit I want to talk to you about, which, depending on which state you're in, could also be a law, and that is short term disability benefits. If you're someone who is close to retirement and you begin to see a decline, you can use short term disability to bridge you until the point where you reach full retirement. So you're near retirement, you're almost at a point where you can receive full retirement, but you're not there yet, and you begin to have a cognitive decline. You can use short term disability payments to bridge the time between your full retirement benefit eligibility age and your current age. And the way that would work is you would just go through either your state or your employer to find out if they have that benefit available to you. But just make sure you understand how your short term disability and long term disability benefits can assist you, especially if you're dealing with a cognitive decline issue. And that's something you want to deal with way before resign. You want to look into that before you leave an organization because a lot of times employers will provide these types of benefits. And then the last law that I would talk with you about that actually provides some job security and job protections for you if you begin to deal with these types of issues is FMLA. And so the way FMLA, Family Medical Leave Act, can support you is if you need to, for example, take an incremental leave. Let's say if you have to take time off to get a proper diagnosis, or you need to take time off to figure out, what exactly is your medical condition. Going out on a FMLA leave can assist you by giving you the time that you need to figure out what the best step is for you based on what your medical diagnosis. Now, before I go, I just want to mention that it is so important to apply these laws to your circumstance. I provided some examples, but if you work with an employment lawyer, they can help you understand how this actually applies to you. So, thanks so much for watching today's episode of the HR Insider. Please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss future episodes. And remember, workplace fairness starts with accountability. I'll see you next time.